afternoon. James Neidlinger here in Tacoma, Washington. Wanted to talk about clubs and wrist circles. So if it's a circle at the wrist, it's a wrist circle. We're going to start out really simple. Just take a full grip on the club. Defining full grip is my pinky on the ball, ring finger above the ball on the handle. My last two fingers, middle and index, will form the lock that holds the club in place, and this finger will open and close, not that much, just a little bit, enough to allow the club to float, right? So there's a little space, or it's in full grip hammer, hold it like a hammer, or it's open a little bit. And when it's open, there's a line between shoulder and the tip of the club, but there's a small dip in the middle where the wrist is, okay? All right, so again, wrist circle, right? So it's gonna happen at the wrist. And really easy way to start this, take your finger and put it in front of your club. And when I say in front of your club, between your body and the club. So now I'm gonna keep my full grip on the club, and I'm gonna push all the way through until it comes through. So you can see it from the front. If I try to keep it right on center, it doesn't really work. So I let it go to the outside, and then I bring my wrist back down. Push the wrist up. When the club head points down and it's outside of the body, pull the club down. Push the wrist up. The club is pointing down. It's outside of my body. Pull the wrist down. Push up, pull down. Push up, pull down. The main motion here is a rotation at my forearm and wrist. That. So external rotation with lateral flexion. Lateral flexion being club moves away from me. Push the wrist up, pull the wrist down. All right, so going in the reverse. Now if I put the club between me and my hand, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull, push the club forward. I can't keep going straight, so I have to turn and pull it down. Making the circle here on the inside of my arm is kind of weird, right? But outside of my arm, it's much easier. So the first one was bottom goes forward and up. Now bottom's going to go forward that way. So the finger's in front of the club. I push the bottom of the club forward. I let the club fall again outside my body. I pull the club handle down. If I leave my finger in place, it becomes the center of the circle that I can move around. It's just a barrier to help me learn the motion. That's full grip, right? That's a full grip. If you watch, my grip doesn't open. There is a little bit of space created right here between my pinky, my ring finger, and my palm as that space closes down. And then going the other way, there's a little space created between my thumb and my index finger. Right? So the webbing of my thumb and index finger becomes the fulcrum. Or if you've ever rowed a boat, the oar lock, the lock for the oar, that's where it goes. Now if I open my fingers up and go to a ring grip, I can let the same circle turn inside the OK of my fingers. And what I mean by OK is that. Dong, right? So try with your middle finger and your thumb, make the OK sign there. And use your index finger to pull the club back to position a little bit. Right? When it's in this position, these fingers, when the club head is down and the handle is up, these fingers, my ring and pinky, help control the ball end of the club. When the club is head up, button down, my index finger controls the action of the club. so it lets it float easy in my hand. Not that easy. All right. So, review. Full grip, like a hammer. Opens and closes just a little bit. You can make kind of a stirring motion, right? And then it's that plus club moving forward or club moving back. And the club head goes outside the body for the purposes of these wrist circles. Outside the body, outside the body. There are ones you do inside of the structure of the arms. Inside the structure of the arms versus outside the structure of the arm. Inside, outside, right? But again, this is just a simple demonstration video. We're looking at wrist circles. I'm going to show you from this side. So, external rotation, lateral flexion, club head points down, push the handle up, pull the handle down. My elbow travels a little bit in and out. My hand moves up and down, and that lets me keep an easy wrist circle. Then you can play with making them high, middle, and low. And make sure you do it on both sides. Don't get good at just one side, unless you want to be like that guy in The Lady in the Lake. That was a weird movie, but it was pretty funny. So where you make the wrist circles really changes the leverage on the arm. It'll make it feel different, and it'll change how the circles feel. Remember to play with full grip and ring grip, and try ring grip. Remember, try using the middle finger for the ring grip, or circus grip, sometimes it's called. All right, that's enough. Thanks for taking the time to watch this little clip on wrist circles. Hope it was useful, and I hope to see you either in my class here in Tacoma, Washington, where I teach Monday through Friday, and you can take my class on how to swing clubs and gata and how to do other stuff, or maybe I'll see you at one of the certifications taking place nationwide and internationally. The next few are going to be in the United States, in the continental United States. I've got New York coming up in February, and then in May there is a clinic in Medford, Oregon, and one in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you are looking to expand your knowledge base on how to use clubs, or if you're just a person who wants to know how to use clubs for your own benefit, I think they're a really good tool to have in your arsenal, as it were. Thanks again. Have an awesome day. Cheers.